up, modifiers? Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different on this beast. We got the headlights on this thing that are really fogged over and just kind of faded. And you've always seen the videos of people online restoring these things, and I'm going to see if we can't take a crack at it ourselves. Okay guys, so from what I've seen, all we're going to need here is some sandpaper, and this is a 400 grit to a 1500 grit to a 3000 grit. And this is wet sanding sandpaper, so you will have to have the hose or some type of water source. And then after we get done with that, we'll go through with some compound, and this is the exact compound I've seen them use in the videos, so this should work great, followed with some polish. Now we also have some rags over here just for the compound and the polish. And then lastly, what we don't have right here for right now is some type of protectant. Now from what I've seen, you can either use clear coat, or Meguiar's actually makes a protectant on it that lasts up to a year. First things first though guys, what you want to do first is go through and tape all this up around the headlight, because you do not want to sand into your paint. And after that, we'll be ready to start sanding and getting this thing all wet. Now one thing I do have my doubts about actually sanding and compounding and polishing out are these tiny little cracks. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but usually what I've seen from the videos and the forums is once it gets to this point, the headlights aren't really restorable. But like I said, these headlights are not going to be the last headlights this truck receives. I'm actually wanting to replace these actually quite soon. So what we're going to do is, I think this would be a great experiment to see if this would work. Okay guys, so you can see right there we got rid of all that oxidation that was on top of this headlight. This is the 400 grit. Now we're just going to move up to the 1500 grit, and then we'll go to the 3000. Okay, so if you see right here, we've gone over it with the 400. We went side to side on the 400, then we went up and down on 1500, and then we've gone side to side again on 3000. As you can see right there, there's already quite a difference in the headlight on how clear it looks, and we haven't even hit it yet with the compound or the polish. So stay tuned, we're going to get that on there, we're going to see how this thing looks. Okay guys, so this thing's in the garage now. We got it kind of dried up. You can see right there, the headlights look a little bit hazy, and that's alright because the compound we got is going to take care of that and get us back to that shiny look, followed with the polish, and I'm hoping this turns out really great. Okay guys, so after some intense scrubbing with the compound, you can see these things are already starting to look nice and glossy and shiny. Now I haven't gone over it with the polish yet, but I'm thinking when we hit it with this polish, it's just going to really make it pop. And then after that, all we got to do is put some protectant on it, and these headlights will be done. Okay guys, so it's actually the next day. As you saw probably just a bit ago, we lost all the daylight we had from yesterday, and I really wanted to get this truck's final view in the sunlight just to really show how it's paid off of what we've done. But as you can see right here, we're all finished up with the polish, and now all we gotta do is put some protectant on it, which I want to talk to you guys about. Okay guys, in the final step of our restoration, you're gonna want to put some protectant on these headlights after you're done polishing them and sanding them and all that. Now if you don't put any type of protectant on them, I'd say probably here in probably not even a couple months, the headlights will probably go back to being pretty crappy looking again. So what I've seen is you can either use clear coat like you'd use on paint, or you can use this stuff right here, which is Meguiar's headlight coating. Now this stuff's supposed to be good for up to a year, and really the reason you want to use this stuff and not so much clear coat if you don't have to is because the clear coat is proven to kind of mess up the reflection of the beam of the light. It should only take about 2 coats, about medium wet is from what the directions say, with about 5 minutes apart to dry. And let's see what this thing looks like in the daylight. Okay guys, a couple other steps worth mentioning before you spray the protectant on, whether it's clear coat or the Meguiar stuff, is obviously you want to tape everything up again. You don't really want that stuff on your paint. And also you want to take something and wipe off all the polish and extra wax residue that's on the lights. And really alcohol would be ideal for this application, but since, you know, alcohol is kind of worth its weight in gold right now with everything going on in the world, we just kind of made do with this glass cleaner. Okay guys, so from putting that protectant on the Maguire stuff, it did not work out the way we thought it would. It started fisheye really bad, and it just made the headlights look worse than what we started. We don't have any alcohol, which is really what they say to get it off with, but we're using some soap and water, and we're trying to take it off now. We just sprayed it, so hopefully it'll come off. Would you look at that, guys? We got all the headlights back in. We got all that crap off there, that the protectant stuff that was looking all fish eyes and making our headlights actually look more foggier than they were with just the polish. And might I say, this thing is looking awesome. The headlights on this thing look sick now that they're all cleaned up. I mean, there are no aftermarkets, but like I said, that's coming later on. But also, I didn't know it, but these 06s actually have a light down here that's supposed to light up. And ever since I bought the truck, it never had that. So we had, if you remember, we did some cab lights on this thing, the 4th gen cab lights with the amber LEDs, and we had a couple of those left over, and we stuck them in there. They were the right size. So the bottom amber lights now are actually LEDs, and they look awesome, if I say so myself. Now this isn't really the way I wanted to show you guys the headlights, because I know it's a little bit dark. We lost daylight yet again, but you know, at night with the lights on, I say that it looks really good. And what better way to show off the headlights than, you know, with the lights on. Now, as you see right there down in the floor, we got the oil all drained out of this thing, so we gotta yet finish the oil change with this thing. But first, let me just show you guys what I'm using. And I got some AmsOil diesel oil. This is the heavy duty protection SAE 15W40 stuff. This isn't the top of the end stuff you could get from them, but this is very much better than probably what you're gonna get in stores. So this is what we got here. I'll show you guys a quart of this stuff. That's what we're putting in this thing. We got 3 gallons of it, just so we got a little bit left, just in case. Better to have too much than not enough. So we're gonna get this oil put in there. We got a Mopar filter right there. We're gonna get all that in there and get to it. Okay guys, so that's going to be a wrap on today's video. We got the headlights on this thing looking great again. Although we didn't get something on there to protect it from the UV, I'm going to definitely look into that and see if there's a different product, just because the Maguires didn't work for us. I mean, I don't know, it might work for you, but it didn't for us. Also, we got the oil changed in this thing, as you saw. We got some good AmsOil in it to go with our AmsOil gear oil and our transmission you saw doing a couple videos back. And also our air intake is holding up really good. And if you haven't seen that video, go back and take a look at the DIY air intake mod on this thing. So that's going to be a wrap on all that. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn your notifications on, because we've got a whole lot more content coming. I'll see you guys next time.